guys, good to see you again. Hey, Memorial Day today. Just want to say Happy Memorial Day. It's not really a happy day. It's more one of those bittersweet. Our freedom's based on war and the guys that go and fight for us. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is when I was born in '68. I'm 54 years old. I was born during Vietnam. And one of the things is I never met my real dad. He went off to Vietnam, until I was 50 years old, I hadn't met him. But he went off to Vietnam, and, people come back from these wars and they're messed up. I've had a lot of friends over the years that went to Vietnam, fought in the war. And one of the things that really has hit me is the effect that these guys going off and fighting for our freedoms and for us, basically. But I've always thought, man, there should be a medal for kids who have to grow up without their dads or their moms because of war, whether they fought in a war and didn't come back, God forbid, or if they came back so messed up that they could never be a mother or a father again. And there's a lot of reality to that. There's a lot of people out there that come back, and I've got a friend that, unfortunately, he fought in Afghanistan and came back, and mind's not there, he can't get it together. He can't be a normal person anymore. And his kids are neglected by it. My son and I had a friend that he was a sniper, and he's woke up in the middle of the night, almost killed his dog, almost killed his wife because of the fear and the things going on in his head. And I don't think our government takes good enough care of these guys to get them stable. But one of the pains that I grew up with was not knowing my dad, not seeing my dad, not being part of him, not being part of my life. But when kids would ask me, they all knew I was adopted and stuff. But when they would ask me, I'd just tell them, oh yeah, my dad died in Vietnam as a Green Beret or whatever. And that was the cover up for me having to explain that he didn't want me, or he never came back for me, or the pain that I felt as a kid growing up, even into my adulthood, it really affected me. But one of the things that I think we forget about is a lot of the kids in our lives, a lot of the people in our lives whose parents are fighting wars and are in the military and are out there doing things. These kids they don't get to be kids. They grow up and they have to make excuses for being lonely. They have to make excuses for being depressed. And, when your parents aren't there, it's rough, and you see these kids that have happy lives, and they get their Christmases and their birthdays and their baseball games and football and cheer, whatever they're into. Well, I never got that. And that really affected me in a way that I really didn't understand until I was a little bit older. But I hit it up. I hit it up in drugs. I hit it up in violence. My cover was to be this tough guy that everybody was afraid of, that I acted psycho so that nobody would really mess with me. And one of the things is, until you have peace with yourself and you can accept who you are as a person, you don't have to be your mom or your dad. If they haven't been good people or they haven't been part of your life, you don't have to grow up in that same thing. You don't have to do the same things. And we need to learn that we can break those, what I call generational curses. You don't have to be an alcoholic because your mom or dad were an alcoholic. You don't have to be an alcoholic because your friends are drinkers. I go out with my friends all the time, and I don't feel the urge to get drunk. I don't feel the urge or the pressure to drink because I don't like it. I don't drink. And I know that when I drink, I'm not the guy I want to be. So I don't have to cover up those pains anymore like I used to. But that's the issue with drinking, is it covers up a lot of stuff that we can't deal with in our own minds, you know. And if you can't find peace sober, you're not going to find peace drunk or high or whatever. And that's one of the hardest things, I think, is growing up. I am as patriotic as you're going to find. I love my country. I love the people in our country. I don't care what your religious beliefs are. I don't care what color you are. We all bleed red. We're all Americans. That's what this country was built on, was people coming here from different places to find peace. It's always been that way. It's always going to be that way. But we also have rules. Gotta play by the rules. It's not a free for all. But the people that come here, they love our country, they want to be part of it, they want to take care of it, you know. And I had a friend that was a Filipino guy, and it was funny because when we lived in Hawaii, he was my next door neighbor, barely spoke English, and unfortunately he's passed away now. But we became really good friends. But I noticed when I first met him, he said he had a big heart on his arm, and he had a tattoo that said USA. And I always got a kick out of that. And then, you know, my first plumbing company that I owned, I had a guy working with me on some jobs, and his name was Miguel. And, you know, he was illegal. He had come across the border illegally and stuff, but super nice guy, hard worker, great tile guy. And one day Miguel came to me. I hadn't seen him in like a year. And he came to me and I said, Miguel, man, how you doing? He goes, well, Mr. Joe, I'm no longer Miguel. He goes, I'm an American now. And he had gone through the paperwork, became an American, and got his citizenship and everything. And he said, now my name is Bob Miller. And I got a kick out of that. I thought that was so funny, but so the love that he had for this country is the same love that I have for it. And there's a lot of hurt. We screw a lot of stuff up. There's a lot of pain. We don't treat our people right. We don't treat each other right anymore. But one of the things I want to just encourage you guys is that Memorial Day is about the people that died fighting in wars, whether they believed in it or not, whether you believe in it or not. They fought. And there's wounded guys out there that fought. There's guys with stuff in their heads that they can't sleep at night, and they can't have their families anymore. And you know, I want to encourage you guys, support those guys, man. They gave all. They gave everything they could. They thought they were doing the right thing, whether they were or weren't. That's not the concern. What the concern is we have Americans out there. We have people in our country that are suffering from war, that are suffering from the outcome of war, whether it's kids of people that never came home, whether it's kids that never met their parents like myself, you know. I'd say 90% of my childhood was based on feeling rejected. And even as an adult, I battled with rejection and depression and stuff like that. And people that know me go, man, how could you possibly be? You're so outgoing, you're successful, you're a great guy. But deep down inside, I still have really big insecurities in my life. And one of the things, you know, my main thing is when I start getting depressed, you know, and you guys know, if you watch this, I'm not an overwhelming preacher or anything, but I base my life on my faith. And the one thing that I've always been able to count on is that when I'm going through those trials, when I'm going through that suffering, when I'm going through those little hidden shadow pains that I can't get rid of from my childhood or whatever, and you know, I'm feeling rejected, or I'm feeling hurt, or feel like I don't have any friends and nobody really cares. You know, when you're going through that and you feel like your life is not important, one of the things that we need to be able to do is go to God with it. And that's the only place I find peace. I don't find it in money. I don't find it in pleasures. I don't find it in sports or any of that. I really, over the years, have realized that the only place I find my peace is in God. And the only place I can find God is in my intimate time with Him. Even at church and stuff like that, you might be distracted. Church is about fellowship and stuff like that. And I go every week. I spend all day Sunday at church and serving and whatever I can do to help. But one of the things that I really feel like is the most important thing in all of that is just, who are you when you leave? Who are you when you're not in church? Who are you when you're sitting in your room by yourself, and when you're getting sad because you're alone and depressed? Who are you leaning on? You know, are you leaning on videos, porn, you know, your YouTube, your Instagrams, all the stuff that we do now? Are you worried about your Facebook and pretending to be somebody you're not, and comparing yourself to the people that are out there doing all this stuff? And you know, you won't find peace in that. I've never found peace in it. The only place I've ever found my peace, honestly, is in my relationship with God. There's nothing else I can say about that. So, but I want to encourage you guys, you know, if you're battling, if you're fighting, you know, I want you to have a great Memorial Day. I want you to understand that, to me, it's not a great day to celebrate because so many people lost their lives, and it's heartbreaking for me. But at the same time, in a selfish way, I can celebrate because I'm a free man. I have freedoms in this country that other people die for in other countries, that we don't have that risk here. And I just want to encourage you guys, have a great day. If you're lonely, you know, spend some time with God. Find your place, find your avenue to getting to where you can find that peace in your life. And if something's not working, you need to go you need to go somewhere else. You need to find something that you can rest in. And sitting alone at home, sitting alone anywhere is definitely not healthy unless you're clear in your mind and you can spend some time meditating on what's going on. But I hope this helps you guys. I hope you have a great day. Look forward to the next video. And, you know, obviously all this, subscribe, you know, click, do all those things. I'm just trying to get this stuff out there so that people can, maybe something I say can help somebody. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say about these videos. So don't be afraid to comment or whatever, good, bad, or indifferent. I'm doing these because I want to help. You know, I just want to be there for people because people were there for me. So guys, have a great day. Talk to you later.